You want to buy real estate in Germany, don't you? That's why you're watching this video. Now, investing in German real estate is just like any other activity in life. There's a right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. And the wrong way, when it comes to real estate, can easily cost you 6 digits and financially ruin you. So you definitely want to avoid that. And that's why we're looking at the 10 real estate tips in this video and the 10 real estate fails in the next video of this Real Estate in Germany series. Because buying properties here in Germany is fairly easy, even as an expat with limited German skills. You just need to follow the real estate tips that we discuss in this video. What's up everyone, welcome to a new real estate video brought to you by PerFinEx, the #1 English speaking and independent financial planner in Germany. My name is Axel and today I bring you 10 real estate tips that you definitely want to follow if you want your real estate investing career to succeed. Real estate tip number 1, come back to reality. Let's be honest, when you're tipping your toes into buying real estate, you watch videos on the internet, listen to podcasts, read books, whatever. Everywhere just success stories in which people became millionaires with the greatest real estate deals in the history of humanity. So you go to your boss and say, "Hey boss, I'm outie because I will become a real estate millionaire." Go fuck yourself. Sooner or later, reality will come. You visit your first property, second one, third, talk to real estate agents, calculate real life returns, and then you get frustrated because that's not what people promised on the internet. Don't be. And don't give up. The first property is always the hardest and it will get a lot easier afterwards. Believe me on that one. And believe me also that the perfect property doesn't exist. So stop looking for it now. Rather watch the videos of our Real Estate in Germany series. They will give you a good sense of reality about the German real estate market. Real estate tip number 2. Think of your personal real estate strategy before you buy. Why are you buying real estate in general? What's the goal? And what's your exit strategy? Yes, you better think of how you want to sell that property again before you actually buy it. Why are you buying this specific property that you're looking for and not a different type of property? Yes, there's also different types of properties. And also, yes, there's always good properties for your personal situation and there's always bad properties for your personal situation. Just one example what I mean by your personal situation. What's your marginal income tax rate? You're not sure? Then check out this video on income tax in Germany. You want to think of all these questions and many more before you buy a property. Actually, before you even start looking for a property, because if you don't even know the answers to these questions, what type of property are you actually looking for? You don't even know what type of property would make sense for you. You would just be buying any random property that you think is good. And that's not how it works, guys. And that's why we will devote the entire step 2 of this Real Estate in Germany series to finding the right property for your individual personal financial situation and the goals that you want to achieve with the property. Real estate tip number 3. Be professional and be prepared. First thing that you will learn about the German real estate market is that it's highly competitive market. So many people are hunting down properties for more than 10 years now and continue to do so. What do you think? Who gets the limited amount of property in a market like this? It's not the one with the most money, I can assure you that. The buyer that is as professional as it gets will get the property in most cases. Professional towards all parties involved, of course. Towards the bank or the financing person that helps you come up with the money for the property that you want. Towards the real estate agent or the seller because they have also what you want. And last but certainly not least, professional towards yourself. And what do I mean by that? Have all documents prepared. We're in Germany here. We love our bureaucracy and throwing papers around. Not me personally, but Germany in general. So if any party involved in your real estate deal asks for information or a document, provide it. And provide it as fast as you can if you really want that deal. There are actually 5 to-dos you should take care of before you can even think of buying a property. Wonder what those are? Then check out video number 9 of this Real Estate in Germany series. Now that you have some sense about reality, have your strategy right, and are prepared, it's time for real estate tip number 4, start small and diversify. A lot of people we talk to want to buy an investment property in the city they live in themselves. And since you expats live mostly in the big German cities, this purchase would require a lot of money. How about, instead of limiting yourself to investing in your area only, you open yourself up to other locations as well? This way, you will have a larger pool of cities and properties to choose from, which also means your opportunity to find a better investment property is higher. Am I right? It's probably also cheaper than in the top 7 German cities, which means you can buy a second rental property a lot faster than if you buy one large property. Investing across multiple locations with different strategies diversifies your real estate portfolio and protects you against changes in local real estate markets that might happen eventually in the upcoming decades. And that brings us to real estate tip number 5, look for future market trends. Future market trends, not trends that have been going on for decades already. Many of you want to buy in the top locations where everyone invests, and then you wonder why the return is. Well, guess what? That trend started already years ago, and everyone who wants to join the party late has to pay a premium for that. Leipzig is a perfect example for that. The purchasing prices went through the roof because Leipzig has been growing a lot. And everybody who wants to join into that trend now has to pay quite a high premium, because the future growth projection is factored into Leipzig property prices already. So maybe look for future trends, like this property at Bodensee focusing on the German aging population, or this property in Nuremberg focused on the new university that they just got. Check out all the links to the videos that I mentioned in the description. Real estate tip number 6, buy a property that suits your personal financial situation. Again, coming back to real estate tip number 1 and tip number 2. The perfect property doesn't exist. The universally perfect property for everyone doesn't exist. The property that is perfect for your individual situation might very well exist, if you have realistic expectations, of course. Every personal situation is different, and therefore a different property is required. But how can you possibly know which property is right for your financial situation? The deal analyzer from Lendlord can kind of give you a good answer to this question. Soon, they will also factor in your personal income tax rate, which is of course a major deciding factor when it comes to choosing the right type of property. Here's a video explaining the deal analyzer from Lendlord in detail, and the link for you to sign up for free is also in the description. Real estate tip number 7 is tightly connected to real estate tip number 6. Get the financing that suits your personal situation. I've said in many videos already that you shouldn't take the first financing offer from the random clerk from the random bank that is giving you. Why not? Different personal situation requires a different property, requires different financing. It's always these 3 factors that have to come together in order to make an investment great. Just think of the people that went all out 10 years ago buying more property than they could actually afford with 0.5% principal repayment to the bank. Their fixed interest rate will run out in the next years, or did run out already. And since the start of the pandemic, banks demanded at least 2% principal repayment, from 0.5% to 2%. That's 4 times as much. Who can afford that if the property was too huge for them in the first place? And the bank knows that too, so they will ask for additional securities. And if you cannot provide them, they will just foreclose. So get personal, sustainable financing that is suited for your financial situation. If you need any help with that, feel free to reach out, and we will help you get the best financing possible with the more than 500 banks that we work with. Real estate tip number 8, you guessed it, prepare for market change. The 0.5% principal to 2% principal change is certainly something that hit the market very unexpectedly. Mainly because the pandemic came also pretty unexpected. And now, since the latter half of the last year, we have seen inflation going to 5%, 6%, 7% continuously. So the American Central Bank talked about raising interest rates again, and we're currently waiting what our European Central Bank will be doing. Eventually, they have to follow if inflation stays that high. The market is expecting a rise in interest rates already. Since December last year, we have seen interest rates for real estate financing go up almost 0.5% in just 2 months. Now, I'm not saying that this will continue like this, mainly because past performance is no guarantee for future results, but our financial authority BaFin also wants to tighten regulation for banks next year. And guess who has to pay for it? Us consumers with higher interest. Prepare for market changes so that you can sit through whatever happens. And prepare that real estate prices can also fall. You may not believe me, and that's fine. Just ask the people that invested in real estate before the financial crisis in 2008. Real estate tip number 9. Think of taxes. I know you guys really want that real estate tax video. It's just that this whole Real Estate in Germany series follows a certain logic, you know? So maybe a little bit taxation right now, at least one little tax trick that will save married couples tens of thousands of euros. If you buy an investment property and rent it out, Finanzamt thinks that you're doing this to make a profit, which is most likely true. So all costs that you're having with trying to make this profit become tax deductible. Interest rate you pay the bank, tax deductible. Depreciation of at least 2% per year, tax deductible. Modernization and repairs, say it with me. Those are basically the 3 big ones, and then the rest. And yes, a GmbH will pay only 15% corporate tax versus up to 45% personal tax that you might have when buying a property as a natural person. But a GmbH has structural cost. And it's a lot of headache too. Check out this video to see how many sleepless nights I had when creating PerFinEx GmbH. So if you don't have millions in real estate already, buy properties as a private person. And if everything works well, sell these properties after 10 years to your own GmbH. Tax-free, of course. Now the little tax trick that can save you tens of thousands of euros if you're married. Only one of you should buy the property in their name. Why? Because you can sell it tax-free after 10 years to your spouse, without paying ground purchasing taxes because you're related in first line. This way your spouse will get a higher depreciation, which will save you a lot of taxes, and you as the seller can give your spouse a credit, which will save you even more taxes. We call that Ehegattenschaukel in German. You're welcome. And lastly, real estate tip number 10. Automate as much as you can. Trust me when I tell you that real estate can be a lot of work. Not just the property itself, but also annoying tenants. You have a full-time job already, don't you? A family, friends. You don't need another job in handling your properties. Rather pay a property management company 25 euros a month to do that job for you. Tax deductible, of course. When you do that, you have real passive income. And with all that new time you have, you can watch this video and generate even more real passive income for you. See you in the next video with real estate fails. Take care, party people.